This is the story of a death row inmate who didn't just commit a double murder, he tried to silence witnesses, manipulate the system, and pulled off one of the most humiliating jail escapes in Texas history. And even at the very end, he remained calm. Almost unsettlingly calm. Stay with me, because this case gets more disturbing with every chapter. On January 28, 2026, Charles Victor Thompson was executed by lethal injection in Texas. He was 55 years old, convicted of murdering his ex-girlfriend and her new partner in 1998. But the murders were only the beginning of what made this case infamous, because most killers run from justice. Thompson didn't just run. He escaped custody with fake credentials and walked out the front door. Before the murders, Thompson was not a stranger lurking in the shadows. He had relationships, friends, family support. He had been in a romantic relationship with Denise Hazlip, but according to court records and testimony, the relationship was marked by control and jealousy. When Denise moved on, Thompson did not, and that emotional refusal would turn him emotional because when Denise told him she chose someone else, prosecutors say he chose violence. Denise Hazlip was 39 years old. Friends described her as resilient and hopeful. She had begun dating Darren Kane, 31. People close to them said the relationship felt stable, peaceful, promising. But investigators say Thompson viewed Darren not as a new partner, but as an obstacle. And in April 1998, that obsession reached a breaking point. What happened next took less than a minute, but destroyed multiple families forever. In the early morning hours of April 30th, 1998, the couple was asleep in Denise's Houston area apartment. The front door was kicked in with force. The frame splintered. Darren Kane was shot multiple times before he could react. Evidence showed no defensive struggle, suggesting he never had a chance. Thompson then advanced toward Denise. She was shot and critically wounded. She did not die immediately. She fought for her life in the hospital for 7 days. On May 6th, she passed away from her injuries. The case became a double homicide. But what Thompson did after the shooting shocked investigators even more. After the attack, Thompson fled the scene. He disposed of the weapon in a creek. Then he went to a friend's house and confessed, in detail. Not vague statements, not emotional fragments, a full description. He later confessed to his father as well. Faced with the truth, his father urged him to surrender, and Thompson turned himself in. But even in custody, the danger wasn't over, because from jail, he tried to arrange another murder. While awaiting trial, Thompson attempted to hire someone to kill the very friend he had confessed to. Police received a tip. Instead of stopping it immediately, they set up an undercover operation. An officer posed as a hitman. Thompson offered $1,500 for the killing. He even provided information about where the discarded weapon could be found. That planning would later devastate his defense, because this single decision helped secure the death penalty. Prosecutors presented forced entry evidence, ballistic findings, confession, testimony, the murder for hire plot. The jury saw a pattern: violence, escape, obstruction, continued threat. He was convicted and sentenced to death. An appeal granted resentencing later, but the result remained the same: death row. Most people thought the story would end there. It didn't. In November 2005, while held at Harris County Jail, Thompson executed an escape plan that stunned officials. Using a legal binder, he smuggled a handcuff key, fake ID credentials, civilian clothing, shoes. After a legal visit, he removed his restraints, changed clothes, displayed the fake badge, and walked out. He passed multiple employees. No one stopped him. It wasn't a tunnel, it wasn't force. He simply walked out the door. The escape lasted 4 days. He was located in Louisiana, intoxicated, outside a liquor store, asking for money to flee toward Canada. The dramatic escape ended quietly. Security failures were heavily criticized afterward. But even after recapture, the legal fight continued for years. Thompson spent years filing appeals. Defense teams challenged sentencing procedures. Courts reviewed evidence repeatedly. Each time the conviction stood. Execution date set January 28, 2026. Public reaction was divided. Justice versus punishment, closure versus morality. Then came the final hours. Final procedures were followed under Texas protocol. Witness lists confirmed. Spiritual support offered. At the execution chamber, Thompson delivered a final statement. He expressed hope that the victims' families might one day find healing and forgiveness, and said tragedies like this create more victims across time. Observers described his tone as composed. At 6:50 p.m. Central Time, the execution was complete. But for the families, the story doesn't end there. Denise Hazlip, Darren Kane, two people building a future. Two lives ended by jealousy and control. Executions close legal cases, but grief timelines are different. Families continue carrying that weight long after headlines fade. And this is why true crime must never forget the victims.